And you are live.
Thank you. I'd like to call the Parks and Rec Committee meeting to order. And Ms. Bibiano, can we have a roll call, please?
Sure. Lombardo.
Here.
Mosley.
Here.
Malik.
Aye.
Neal.
Here.
Connor.
Aye.
All committee members are present.
Thank you. We do have one piece coming before us, and that is an ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service to self-perform or enter into a contract or contracts after publicly advertising for bids for the construction of the Schneider Park walking path and declaring an emergency. And I see we have our Service Director, Mr. Luddle, that will explain. Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of committee. Yes, it's Schneider Park over in Ward 4. We're proposing to put an 8-foot wide walking path around the perimeter of the park. This will not impede or interfere with any of the athletic fields or the practices that go out there, but what it will offer, and this was pretty much resident driven, to the north is Mull Avenue, to the south is Thorndale, to the west is Crestview, and then Schneider is on the east side, and then it turns into Mineola. So this will border the entire park. We will use like a 304 concrete base to be stable. And then on top, we'll use that fine stone. 311 lets you see a lot on the towpath trails throughout the city. So like I said, this is 3/4 of a mile. It will offer even not just passive recreation. Those streets that border the park do not have sidewalks. So even if someone just wants to pass from the north to the south or east to the west, they'll be able to use the trail without walking in the street. So we would like to do this fall, get started on this project, and hopefully we will get it done before the snow flies. And with that, I'll take any questions.
Great. Okay, is there any questions from our committee members?
Mr. Chair.
There you are. Okay, Councilwoman Sharon.
Mr. Little, are there any plans to put benches along this walking trail? I know our trail we have in Reservoir Park, we have a lot of seniors that walk on it for daily exercise, but about 3/4 of the way, halfway through, they like to sit and rest a little bit before they take on the rest of the trail. And we've found that to be an issue in the neighborhood. So I'm just wondering if there's anything with benches to make it more age friendly.
That is a good point, Councilwoman. I didn't see any in the proposal, but we obviously we could add those ourselves, a few of them. And I will mark that down, and we will take that under advisement. We certainly could add a couple benches.
All right, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
It's a great comment, Councilwoman Connor. Is there any other questions from our committee members?
Mr. Chair.
Okay, Councilman Malik.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Luddle, for this presentation. Really excited about this. As someone who has jogged around Schneider Park and constantly looked over their shoulder to make sure I'm not going to get hit by a car. But echoing Councilwoman Connor's point, I think benches would be great. I know that at Hardesty, a lot of the residents, they'll walk a little bit and then they'll sit for a little bit. And so those benches at Hardesty have been great. But thank you for this project.
Sure.
Councilman Neal.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to thank Mr. Luddle. Project's been delayed for a little bit, but they've kept the residents informed. The residents have been patient, so I want to thank the residents. Good idea on the benches. There are benches already in the park, but they're not close to walking trails, so that would be something nice. But I would like my name added to this one too, Mr. Chair. But Mr. Luddle, thank you to you and your group for hearing the residents and staying on top of it and bringing this to fruition. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And before we go any further, I neglected to get an approval of the last meeting's minutes.
So
We can-
moved.
If we can do that now, thank you.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Okay, continuing on, is there no more committee members have questions? Is there any other council members that have questions or comments on this legislation? Okay, I do not see anything. So Mr. Luddle, what would be your pleasure?
Consent's fine. See that we have a meeting next week, sir, but we definitely want to pass it next week so we can get started,
All right,
on the
consent.
planning process.
Okay, I see Councilman Neal has another question.
Yeah, not so much a question. Mr. Lotto, I'm trying to think, because I know I get calls from residents, from folks who, kind of let their dogs run loose there. I walk that park, around that park at least once or twice a month. Are there dog,
Waste
bags?
receptacles,
Yes.
I'm not sure, but we'll check.
Okay, yeah, because if we're gonna add that walking trail, we may just have some people, more people bringing their dogs on there. That'd be good, sir, if we could look into that, please. Thank you.
Sure.
It's another good comment. Thank you. Okay, can I get a motion for consent agenda, please?
So moved.
Second,
Second, all in favor
Aye.
Aye.
and opposed? Okay, we'll put that on the consent agenda. Thank you. If there's no other items coming before us, then this meeting is adjourned.
Our next committee meeting of the day will be the Rules Committee. Those committee members are Freeman, Fusco, Amobian, Connor, and Malik. That meeting will begin at 2 o'clock. Again, that's the Rules Committee. It will begin at 2 o'clock. So we will end our live stream and be back then. Thank you.